very warm welcome to the channel. The sun is shining and the magpie is casting. Coming to you guys right now with Game 1 between Indigo and Ragnarok. The map is going to be Kalash Teeth, which is one of the smaller, in fact the smallest map in the game. A very close and tense, almost knife fight of a map. The mode is going to be artifact retrieval, same as of course the entire tournament, so good work Magpie, recapping the obvious there. So this is of course the homeworld Deserts of Karak ESL tournament. This is the round of 4, so Semifinals A here between Ragnarok and Indigo, best of 3. So we're going to have to see what these two players can bring. Now I'm already quite excited because Ragnarok here is actually playing as the new faction just added to the game. This is the Soban faction, so they've got this spicy looking carrier here, very funky, and it's got like railguns on it instead of regular defense turrets. Now I've had a few games with the Soban, and my experience seems to be you're best off kind of attacking with this carrier as early as possible, because once you get Power Reserve 1 you can make those railguns pretty spicy. Power Level 2 gives you even more spice, and then you can just pack it in. Now on this map, imagine this map like a track. I need reveal all. Imagine this map like a track, so you can move your carrier, you cannot fit it through these lightly shaded areas, so your carrier has to go like this. And whoever's carrier is further along the track is being more aggressive. Now there are two very important points along the track. If you move your carrier to here, you're basically denying your opponent's extraction site. Now for the North player, that is moving your carrier here. If you move your carrier here, that means that you basically have your opponent cornered in here, but they can start sneaking units through here and harassing your economy and doing all kinds of things. So it's a cool map for that, basically, because the carriers have to move in a linear fashion along it. It's very interesting, and it makes for some very spicy late games, which I definitely do enjoy. Now, we just had a little bit of action there as the Coalition Soban base runner. Whoa, that's some very zoomed out view. That is incredibly zoomed out. What is up with that? Why am I so zoomed out? Anyway, is that going to be a problem? Okay. So yeah, the Coalition scout probe was shot down there by the production cruiser, and we've got a skirmisher happening here in mid. It looks like 4 LAVs trying to take down 3 sand skimmers. Now, whoa, he needs to micro this back LAV into the fight. Here does Raggy. Come on, Ragnarok.
An LAV has been lost. Artifact location confirmed. Ready update. Awaiting orders.
Let's bring up the production tab here. I wish there was a research tab. Seemingly these SAM skimmers have actually been able to mince all of these LAVs. Another one's going to be fed in. Oh, he needed to get that one out. I suppose he's going to trade it for that sand skimmer, but that's just... I don't know if I agree with sending in this last sand skimmer. This is like a lost cause here. So let's see, what else has he got going? I mean, he's got this base runner here, he has an artifact, but I mean there's a number of sand skimmers here. That is enough to bring down this base runner. I would have thought maybe before it can get close to the carrier, but one disadvantage of playing Soban is that the railguns on this carrier are a lot less good against sand skimmers, so your carrier is not really an island of safety against the smaller strike craft. So it looks like here, this is another difference with Soban. He's going to deploy an armed logistics module here, which he can then upgrade with power on his carrier. Let's see if he's going to put power into the logistics modules. Not so far is the answer. You can see the railguns beginning to try and take out these sand skimmers, but not a lot being done. Anyway, these armed logistics modules, they're like the regular logistics modules. They improve your supply cap. You can see here in the top right the supply available. But they have railguns which you can put some power into. Whoa, was that a microwave emitter? Oh no, that's the weapons jammer. Okay, so this thing here jams. It's a targeting jammer, yeah, so it prevents enemy units from within its radius from firing. So anyway, looks like the carrier is going to be using its missiles. Whoa, now the production cruiser, the Gaussian assault production cruiser here, coming on in for Indigo. It's going to start smashing through these resources because he's got assault ship research finished, and he's beginning to just absolutely take advantage of the situation here. Salvages are being hemorrhaged here for the Soban player, and this just looks really... I mean, this is just a bad situation here. The assault ships are beginning to get taken out. Because actually the railguns on the carrier are good against assault ships. And the missile launcher, in addition, is also very useful. Whoa, the Soban missile launcher fires very quickly. This is horrendous damage it kicks out. But there's just so many sand skimmers here, and like how many... There's only 2 salvages left, so I think this might be a very early GG here. 1, 2, 3 salvages only remaining. Let's take a look on the other side of the map. We've got many more salvages beginning to harvest off of 2 bases. Actually, he needs to... Okay. Apparently he doesn't need to set the charges. I think there must be a glitch with the replay. That resource site shouldn't be accessible by the way it looks, but I think I think that's just some kind of synchronization error. Anyway, strike fighters are now out for the Soban player, and there's very little. Once this production cruiser goes down, there is no anti-air here whatsoever, and it will go down, I suspect, to the next railgun or missile shot from the carrier. Oh no, the production cruiser's not going to sneak away, is it? Oh, that's brutal. Come on, strike fighter. Okay, the strike fighter picks up the production cruiser. Boom. And that is actually a big loss for the Galzian player. Let me just zoom out. Does he have another? Okay, he's just now gotten another coming out of his carrier. Remember, the Galzian carrier cannot build their military units. You need production cruisers, or you cannot build military units. So, if he'd have actually just lost that and didn't have a second one coming out, that would have been disastrous. But he's going to be okay. Wait, these targeting jammers stay around forever. I did not realize that. I thought they were temporary. Anyway, somehow the Soban player is going to be able to stabilize here, but he is behind in a reasonably big way. He's taken a number of harvester losses, and his army just does not compare right now. These sand skimmers and this assault ship are going to be absolutely brutal. The other production cruiser is actually coming out across the map to continue the offense, which is pretty much what you'd expect, I suppose. So,
enemy signature identified.
This is going to be a real pounding, I think, that's about to come forward here.
Enemy sand skimmer on approach.
The sand skimmers are going to come in. I mean, there's nothing to defend these salvagers at all. Quite ambitious that they're trying to even harvest from over there. Strike fighters are going to come out and deploy. They are finally ready to go. Whoop, here you go. You can just see them launching off the deck of the carrier there. I say strike fighters plural. There's actually only one. And AAV research is finally coming down. This is such an ambitious build here from Ragnarok, and I'm a little confused, I have to say, as to what he expected to happen. Going for strike fighters first is risky, to say the least, when you're playing as Soban. You need something to do with a sand skimmer rush. All Galzian players will probe you and see if you're vulnerable to a sand skimmer rush, because it costs them nothing to do so. If you're not vulnerable to a sand skimmer rush, they'll just fall back. And because they're faster, that's something they can do. So I'm not really sure what the plan is here. Anyway, here comes the production cruiser coming on back in here for Indigo, looking to get some more damage done. 3 assault ships and a number of 3 sand skimmers also going to be supporting it. And yeah, there's the GG out of Ragnarok. Oh wow, a very quick and decisive game 1 between these two players. Absolutely no chance there for Ragnarok. And I think if you play Soban, you've got to get to armoured assault vehicles as quickly as possible, and then put your research into your carrier. I mean, that's the only thing that I've had any success with so far. Not that I've played them very much. So anyway, I guess we could take a look at the stats, but I don't think they'll tell us anything we don't already know. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video and proceed to cast Game 2 between these two players. Catch you on the flip side.